Wow. Oh my God. This dude just had a Remember the Titans moment. A Friday Night's Light, Airbud, whatever you guys want to call it, man. This dude just made history. Oh my goodness. What is up, world? Welcome back. Charge the Game podcast, and the National College Football Championship did not disappoint, man. Wow. What a true underdog story. Kurt Cignetti turning around a loser program. Fernandez Mendoza proved why he is the Heisman Trophy winner, guys. That play, that drive was so cinematic. So cinematic. We're about to go through and just react to everything, the moments, the reaction, the players, the post, the pre, the during. Guys, this was sensational as the Indiana Hoosiers defeat the Miami Hurricanes 27-21. Wow. Guys, what can we say about Kurt Cignetti? What can we say about this man who's turned a loser program into a winning program? I'm talking about from the initial snap to the final snap, they brought it. They brought it. It was certain moments I saw in the Miami Hurricanes' eyes. Yeah, they were beating their chest. Yeah, they were home. They had home field advantage. The Indiana Hoosiers came in, kicked the door in, went straight to the fridge, and made turkey sandwiches, bologna sandwiches, pastrami, whatever you guys want to name it, man. Like, they meant business. And you saw that the Indiana Hoosiers just, in the end, they had more heart. It's what it is. They had more heart. They were heavily doubted. I saw one guy in Miami sold his food truck for $30,000, placed that $30,000 on the sports books to be compensated $150K. I know that guy has to be sick right now, guys. Fernando, Kurt Cignetti, that team made anybody a believer. If you have been following college football, if you have been following that story, they made everybody a believer, especially with this moment from Fernando. You gotta love this kid, man. This kid lays it on the line right here, guys. Lays it on the line, 14-17. What does Fernando do? He grabs the ball, and it's literally a football's life documentary, guys. This is going to be in 30-30 somewhere. This moment here was just magical. Wow. Oh my God. This dude just had a Remember the Titans moment. A Friday Night's Light, Airbud, whatever you guys want to call it, man. This dude just made history. Oh my goodness. Just imagine being this guy's parents and you're watching your son who gave this crazy, brilliant, beautiful speech at the Heisman as he won the trophy. And you're watching your son make history right before your very eyes. Let's get this in a slow motion angle. This is statue worthy. Okay, this right here is statue worthy. That moment there, you saw it. He had so many moments in the game where, you know, he's this jolly. He kind of reminds me of Tom Brady, where Tom Brady has like this happy-go-lucky spirit, this jolly aura, this super nice guy. But when he gets on the field, you see like this switch, right? Like this psycho type of game mode. This was totally a game breaker, by the way. And he even had another moment, guys, where you remember he had the guy hit him in the helmet, roughing the pass or whatever, and they didn't even call it. Fernando said it's okay. Look at this guy. Mouth bloody. You see it in the eyes of the Tiger, folks. Eyes of the Tiger, man. This guy's a winner. He's definitely, I think I saw some people having him going, you know, in later rounds in the NFL draft, man. Because of his personality, his mindset, the guy speaks highly of his faith. The guy is a a leader, but you can tell he's also a listener. He's very coachable, and he showed the world what he's made of, man, on the biggest stage. They simply could not do nothing with him in the end. And it's moments like this that just make sports just so beautiful, so magnetic, man. This underdog story was like no other. They're saying that this is potentially one of the greatest college football seasons ever. Well, it's going to definitely be here for a while. As the Indiana Hoosiers, man, they did their damn thing, man. That's just no other way to say it. They did the damn thing. Though the Hoosiers, kicked ass and took names, the Miami Hurricanes, man, Carson Beck, the running back Fletcher, we'll talk about his behavior after the game, man. They had some winners and they had some losers in this game. I felt like Miami Hurricane, the players seemingly were in over their head. Probably got Michael Irvin out there stripping, taking his belt off, giving him all the confidence. And, I feel like they kind of were a bit arrogant. I think that they got punched in the mouth. And they tried to rally in the end. But it just is. You saw it. You saw it right away. I could see in the eyes that Carson Beck was kind of in over his head. They're saying that he had a shoulder problem with that interception that sealed the game. But I want to talk about Mark Fletcher Jr. here, man. The one guy that I believe showed up all game. He was undeniable. Definitely going to be a good back in the league someday. He was one of the main standout players for how he balled out in the game, but also his behavior after the game. I don't know what was said, guys, but Mark Fletcher decides to throw a punch to one of the Indiana Hoosiers players, one of their star players, guys. It must have been a lot of trash talking in those trenches. I have no idea, but there is no excuse for this, especially after a loss.
Apparently, I'm going to see it. Perhaps you at home have seen it afterwards. That's Mark Fletcher who swung at an Indiana player, which obviously is Tyreek Tucker, and couldn't possibly know what was said.
Guys, there just is no excuses for this, especially with the game already lost. It's already bad enough Carson didn't even shake Fernando's hand. Then you got this guy out here throwing a punch, and shout out to him. Exactly. And actually, it was commendable for him to actually wait on Fernando, as they are both from South Florida. So the running back does have a like-love relationship with Indiana star quarterback Fernando. But this is inexcusable. Kid, you got a promising future, man. Don't go out here messing it up over impulsive decisions out of emotions. Regardless of what was said, you guys lost. You need to go to the locker room. You need to be with your team. You need to comfort your teammates and get on the bus and prepare for the offseason. Okay? That's just what it is. It's no excuses for you to be throwing punches, because this could have turned into something very, very ugly on a day that should be commended for just great sports play. So you hate to see it, guys. You hate to see it. I'm hoping that there's some sort of statement that the Miami Hurricanes can release on this behalf, because this is embarrassing to the organization. It is. Moving along, Carson Beck, bro. You couldn't shake Fernando's hand, bro? What was in the way of that? Maybe I missed something, guys. Y'all let me know. But reports are that Carson Beck didn't even shake Fernando's hand, man. What are we doing here? Well, what are we doing here, man? Is this the Miami program? I like to believe that these players conduct themselves in a professional manner and are coached that way. But apparently, after the Hurricanes lost by 6 points here, Beck became the center of scathing online backlash for failing to shake hands with opposing quarterback Fernando Mendoza. The moment nearly overshadowed the Hoosiers' first national title in program history. Now, I'm hoping somewhere down the line today, there's an article released or a statement released saying that you actually went over to the locker room where Fernando was, met him in the tunnel, and shook his hand. I'm just hoping that's what it was, because this type of stuff does affect your draft stock, whether you want to believe it or not. Coaches don't only look for skill sets, they look for intangibles. Okay, they look for the tangibles as well. I get that. But these scouts actually want to know what type of a man you are. They actually want to know what type of a player you are, right? Outside of the uniform, how do you conduct yourself? So all of this stuff actually does matter. even when in the moment they may not realize. And the only reason that I'm saying that is because Carson Beck doesn't have, it's weird. His career ended very terribly with the interception. And we know that, he was a part of those, championships with Georgia. But this was his moment to pretty much put his name out there. And it did not happen. Where you see a guy like Fernando Mendoza, who just seemingly is everything that a coach would want. Coachable, knows when to be serious, talks very highly of his family in faith. In fact, I actually like the post-game presser that he did with SVP, guys. And it's just a snippet of it, but it gives you a glimpse of the type of man that he is.
So your very first is against teams who've either played for or won a bunch of them. How does that elevate this moment for you and the legion of Hoosier fans all across the nation?
I think it really shows the power of God and the power of, bonding with one another and having the power of belief. If you were to go beginning of the year and say all those opponents, be like, would Indiana beat those guys? I love you, but, even you would say no in a row. But, the way that we believed in each other, the way that we game planned, we prepped, we never stayed complacent throughout the entire year. When we won the Big Ten chip, when our team won the Heisman, when, we won the first or second round, our team never stayed complacent. And we knew that if we had that self-belief in each other, we're able to elevate to this point.
What more can a coach ask for from a player, man? This guy is going to be, and I'm rooting for him, guys. I hope he doesn't get to the next level and be a backup or a bust. I thoroughly want to see this guy strive and, do good things at the next level in his career. Last but not least, man, how about we talk about Mark Cuban here, man? A billionaire who we know at some point owned the Dallas Mavericks, guys. Known for Shark Tank and his investment, is an alma mater alumni of the Indiana Hoosiers. And he demonstrates business 101, how to utilize the NCAA in the transfer portal and how to cut the check to where it works in your favor. This guy will definitely be getting a ring, deservingly so. A guy that saw the vision, saw where the program was headed, and took advantage of just investing into the portal. He shows that it's not about having these big name school programs. It's about how deep can these pockets go to get the players that we need. Now it says here that the guy is worth $9.6 billion. That's wild here, guys. $9.6 billion. He's already invested $5 million into the school for a sports media center in 2015, $6 million for the rugby team in 2024. And it says here, while Cuban hasn't disclosed the size of his recent donations to IU's athletic department, it was a big number. It was a big number. The billionaire told CBS. How about that? Now Mark Cuban will get a ring, guys, and get to show that off amongst his other billionaire friends, guys. He's just one-upping everybody and laying out the blueprint. I'm sure there's going to be other deep pocket investors that do the same thing, or if not already doing the same thing when it comes to their alumni. And Mark Cuban, guys, is indeed the biggest winner here. And that's what's going to go unnoticed. And that's exactly what I would want, if I'm a billionaire, Yeah. So overall, guys, this was a very good game. Great game. Very, very great sports story. Very inspirational. It tugged at your emotions, took you on an emotional roller coaster, whether you were rooting for the dynamic Miami Hurricanes, who are known to be legendary, or like Kurt Cignetti, a coach that goes into a program, turns some losers into winners, and puts that school on the map. You got to love every bit of it. This is what sports is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the one thing that unites us all, brings us all together in a world of chaos. And win or lose, you lay it on the line, you shake hands, and you go off into the world and you hold on to the values that you learned, the journey that it took to get to that destination. And I'm talking about for the Miami Hurricanes too, because it's not easy making it to a natty. Okay, so good game, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the section. I hope that I covered everything as best I could. You guys make sure y'all do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.